So, Law 12, fouls and misconduct. It authorizes the referee to caution a player for unsporting behavior. So, unsporting behavior includes a player trying to deceive the referee by faking an injury or pretending to have been fouled, right? So, in this case, we see the Stellenbosch player inside the box trying to protect the ball there against the Unduli of Pirates. So Pili here, takes a dramatic dive inside the box. I think he was trying to deceive the referee for him to get a penalty. So as you can see there, he's trying to play the ball there. And then Nduli clearly does not touch him. So there's no contact between him and Nduli. And then the Stellis player, dramatically goes to the ground. And then the referee, correctly so, gives him a yellow card. This is in line with Law 12, fouls and misconduct. If you try to deceive the referee by faking an injury or pretending to have been fouled, the referee must caution you for unsporting behavior. So this is called unsporting behavior, faking an injury or trying to deceive the referee by pretending to have been fouled. So, had Stellenbosch scored this particular opportunity, their goal would not have been allowed, or it would have been an illegitimate goal, right? And we're going to see, in line with Law 11, offside. When Barnes releases the ball there, right, we can clearly see that De Jong is in an offside position. Remember, it's not an offense to be in an offside position. A player gets penalized for an offside offense the moment he interferes with play coming from an offside position. In this particular moment, when his teammate last touches the ball, De Jong is in an offside position. So when we play it forward, we'll see that he's interfering with play, right, coming from an offside position. Had De Jong scored this particular opportunity, the goal would not have been legitimate, or it would have been judged offside because he's coming from an offside position. And again, it would have been because Sipho China made a deliberate save and not a deliberate play. So in the FIFA laws, there's what you call deliberate play and deliberate save, right? So in this case, China made a deliberate save, and then had De Jong scored that particular opportunity, the goal would not have been allowed. But had China made deliberate play and then resulting in De Jong scoring the goal, it would have been a legitimate goal, right? Irrespective of whether he's coming from an offside position or an onside position, right? So the difference between deliberate play and a deliberate save is that in a deliberate save, the goalkeeper simply blocks the ball without necessarily having full control of where the ball ends up, right? And then deliberate play becomes the goalkeeper would have had control of the ball, had it under control, and then had time to actually aim to play to his teammate or to a particular direction. And had that resulted in a goal, then the goal would have been allowed. But in this case, China made a deliberate save, which then would have meant that De Jong's goal would not have been allowed. That's according to FIFA Law 11, offsides. So in this case, there was no signal from the linesman or the referee to say whether De Jong was in an offside position, because in this case, Pirates had advantage of the ball and they managed to clear the lines. So I think it was a great observation by the referees in this particular incident. Now here we see the Pirates players in the technical area standing and dancing and singing while the game is on. There's an analyst who said that players are not allowed to stand in the technical area while the game is on. So I tried to look at the law in the laws of the game that speaks to this kind of situation. I couldn't find a law that explicitly states that players are not allowed to stand or dance while the game is on, right? So the only sentence that speaks to such an incident is under Law 1. Law 1, the referee, which says that occupants in the technical area are expected to behave in a responsible manner, right? So, to sanction the Pirates players for standing while the game is on depends on the referee's discretion, right? And I think that's under Law 5, where the referee has the authority to sanction players for unsporting or irresponsible behavior. Do you consider this action by the Pirates players irresponsible and unsporting behavior, given that the game was still on? The match was not finished. Yes, they are leading 3-0. It's only a couple of seconds left on the clock. But what does the law say? I couldn't find a law that says that players must sit until the last whistle is blown. It only depends on the referee's discretion. So maybe that's something that needs to be clarified, because a referee's discretion will differ from referee to referee, right? So in this case, the referees decided not to sanction the Pirates players for dancing inside the technical area while the game is on. I guess you also decide. I mean, is this unsporting behavior? Is this irresponsible behavior, given that the game was on?